When it comes down to credit, there are some very simple basic rules. One, pay your bills on time. That generally will eliminate a lot of negative impact on your credit rating. Number two, don't keep high balances. So here are some examples of things that we see or hear all the time. One is that when your credit card reports to the bureaus, let's use American Express, for example, and say that you have one of those cards. You want to get the points, the travel miles, the whole deal, and you rack up debt every month. You pay all your bills on your credit card, and then you say, on payday, I am going to come in and I'm going to pay everything off. That's great. But here's the problem that you can have with that strategy is that if your bill for American Express, for example, is due the day before you get paid, then it's going to actually show to the bureaus that you have maxed out your credit card, even though you're going to pay it the next day. So your balance is going to end up higher than what it actually should be, or that you do every month, because it's going to report based on the date that it's due. So you want to make sure that you're actually paying your credit card balances or have them paid down when they're actually due, and try to figure out how that works with your paycheck schedule, et cetera, because you don't want what would be really kind of a false balance. It's an accurate balance, but again, it's misleading when it comes to credit. Also, if you have negative credit or negative trade lines on your credit report, here's one thing people forget a lot of times. Let's say you have something go into collection. Well, when you have something go into collection, it does not really help you to go and pay it off. Like sometimes people say, I've got a $400 collection. I'm going to go pay that off tomorrow. My score should be okay then. No, that's not the way it works. Paying off that collection actually may not help your score at all. We've seen instances where it doesn't go up, period. The reason for that is, yes, you have paid it, and yes, it's a zero balance, but it doesn't erase the negative history or the fact that it even went into collection to begin with. So that's the problem, is that the history still sticks on the credit report and it'll impact your grading for your credit score. Another thing people don't realize is that when you pay these collections off, if you're negotiating, and you can negotiate a collection, call up that company and say, hey, I want to pay you off. I will pay you in full, or offer them whatever you think you can get away with. But when you do that, let them know I need a deletion letter, meaning that if I pay this off, I want a letter in exchange, and you might want to get that simultaneously or however you can do it, or go in person, which may be harder during a pandemic. But you need to tell them, I want a deletion letter from you, because you're going to need that deletion letter to go to the credit bureaus to delete the trade line. And when you delete the trade line, then your history gets wiped away, and then you actually can improve your score. So it's almost like a barter or a trade for a higher score, willing to pay off a negative debt. You do want to get deletion letters. You do want to keep collections off, but you got to be smart about everything and understand how everything works. And that's why education is so important. Also, disputing trade lines, not really that helpful. It doesn't do much. In fact, from a mortgage standpoint, it can actually cause problems. It can cause your file to be delayed. It can cause you to not qualify. It can cause you to have to remove the dispute that you added and then repull credit, which could impact your scores.